Hey guys, my name's Tony. This is Max, and this is Blue Painting Coffee Talk number 2. So, today on the show, what we're going to talk about is priority management, and this is one of the most useful tools I've ever learned. It's something I learned about 7 years ago, and I've used it almost every day since. And you know, I always work at it, so I'm always getting better. I'm not perfect. But what we're doing is we want to be able to put out videos with good content that you guys find useful. So if you go ahead, if you find this useful, go ahead and share it with somebody that you think it'd be helpful for. And that would help us out a lot. Like the video, share it. Also, like us on social media at Blue Painting Co. Thanks. So let's get into it. So the first step here is setting a goal. You got to have a clear idea of what your goals are before you jump into it. So I'm gonna have Max kind of write things down over here. So the first thing you do is set goal, and that's one of the most important things, is that you go into this with a clear idea of what you're trying to accomplish. So priority management, the reason we do this is we have tons of things going on in life, and I think it's easy to get lost, do a bunch of things that maybe aren't as effective or don't get you to your goal, and you wonder why you're stuck in the same spot. So the first thing you do is you set your goal. The second thing you do is you do what we call a brain dump. What that is you get everything in your brain and you dump it on a piece of paper. So you make a list, a long list. Usually this list is 2 pages. For those of you that have done this before, you know. So you create a brain dump. You put everything down on paper, and I mean, this is everything, personal things. If you want to have lunch with your girlfriend, if you want to have, if you want to take the weekend and go camping, if you want to, you know, do something extra on, you know, if you're like, say you have work and you work during the day, and then you're trying to set up maybe a website to make some extra cash, that'd be those kinds of things, depending on what your goals are. But you throw everything down. I mean, laundry, cleaning the house, anything that you might have to do, anything you're going to be spending time on, you make a list. The third thing here, there's 5 steps we're going to go through today. We're on the third. The third thing is to prioritize. This is where you are able to figure out what exactly is priority over other things. So what you do here is you have, there's a couple things you look at, is like it says here, urgency. Does that say impact, urgency? So you have impact and urgency, and that decides what's priority. So high impact, high urgency would be an A priority. Low impact, high urgency would be a B priority, and then the same with high impact, low urgency, that'd be a B priority also. And then you have low impact, low urgency, which is a C priority. And the difference between these, just so you understand, is if you have something that has to get done today or has to get done tomorrow, that's high urgency. That would be something you'd consider high urgency. If you have something that dramatically affects your goal, so you look at your goals and you say, this is highly impactful towards my goal, that would be high impact. So that's how you determine what priority is. You have your list, and you always work off this brain dump list. You write right to the left of each of these items. You write A, B, or C depending on the urgency, or depending on the priority, and you keep this list. What I do is usually I'll take all my A priorities and I will put them onto another list. So then I have a list full of B and C priorities, and then a list full of A priorities. And that keeps it easy when it comes time to build my schedule, which is the next step. It makes it easy, so I have one list I'm working off of at first, and then I have, you know, which is, I don't have to skip around looking for A priorities. I just have a list of A priorities. These are all things that get me to my goal that have to be done urgent. So let's throw up the next one here. So this is step 4, which is build your schedule. Step 4 is important, and this is the one that is easiest to overlook. You could have your list, you could have your prioritized list, and then you try to work off that, and it's not as effective. You have to sit down and take the time to put it into your schedule. The first step would be to take all these, all these things that you have, which we call rocks here at Blue Painting, but you have things that are like dentist appointment, personal items. I like to plan personal time first, because it's important that you if you're trying to get things done, that you find time to yourself, or find time to hang out with your girlfriend, find time to hang out with your family. That's important. So that's the first thing I do, is I try to throw in things like, if I'm going to Duluth for the weekend, I put that in. Maybe 2 nights or 2 days during the week, I'll have lunch with a friend, a date night with my girlfriend, go to see a movie with my dad. Stuff like that I put in first, so then I know that I'm not working too much and I have time to spend with other people. Then I go ahead and I look at my A priorities, and I front load the week with my A priorities. So the front of the week, Monday, Tuesday, all A priorities. Some of these things are small things, some of them are big things, but I just throw them in as they fit around my other hard meetings that I have throughout the week. Then I jump into my B priorities, and I just go directly into my B priorities. So once my A priorities are done, I jump into my B priorities and I start filling out my B priorities. And usually I'll have some gaps. I leave some gaps. I like to leave like what we call slush time. So usually an hour to 2 hours of slush time a day, which sounds like a lot, but really you don't want to be rushing around and not, set meetings that you can't make, or you're going to be late to because you don't have enough time. So it's important to have some slush time. I mean, 2 hours is a little much. An hour to an hour and a half is good throughout the day. So little half-hour chunks of slush time. So if things take too long, you don't push into the next thing too quick, and you have a little time to get to the next thing. You don't want to pack it too tight. But then towards the end of the week, you have C priorities that you kind of dump in as needed. You do keep your brain dump list. So you have your brain dump and you keep it, because you're not going to be able to fit everything into this week, and you want to be able to use that to make the following week. Also, you could end up getting to a point to where you finish everything from the, for the day. You want to be able to pull things off your brain dump list and put it into your day. Another reason why the brain dump is useful is you can, as things pop up through the day, add them to your brain dump. People may come to you and say, hey, can you do this for me? Well, that your schedule's packed for the next, the week. You can't do it for them. You can throw it on your brain dump, get back to this person about when I can do it, and then you can actually schedule it knowing that you have time. That's one of the most valuable things about this, is I think I'm good at double planning things. If I don't have a schedule, I'll just say, yeah, I can do it, and then I find myself rushing around. So if I have a schedule, it's realistic. I know what I can get done and what I can't get done, and I can actually plan correct time, and not have to be rushing around like a crazy person. So this next step, ultra important. So step 5, ongoing daily upkeep. So you gotta upkeep your schedule. So every night, what I do is I spend 20 minutes and I quick build my schedule for the next day. So I already have a rough idea of what I'm going to be doing, because I built the whole week out. But things change. I don't finish things. I procrastinate on stuff because I'm a human. And at the end of the day, I just know that all those things that are in my schedule, I have to push into tomorrow that I didn't get done. If things pop up and like an appointment that I have to make, pops up for tomorrow, I have to move things around and make it realistic. It's just important that you realize, first off, you're a human, so you're not always going to be where you need to be when you need to be there. And so, if your schedule pushes back, don't get discouraged and stop doing it. The idea is if you do this on a daily basis, and you keep editing your schedule as you go, you'll get better at it, and you'll be able to do more with your days. So at the end of the day, spend 20 minutes just getting your schedule, put it together. So that's all we have here. I hope it was useful, and I want, again, like I said, follow us on Twitter, Instagram. Our tag is @BluePaintingCo. Which is, on Twitter and Instagram, and then at Facebook, it is at Blue Painting Co. or Facebook.com/BluePaintingCo. We are starting a YouTube channel, which you can find this video on. So if you're on YouTube watching this, go ahead and subscribe, because we're going to be putting these up, and it's all the stuff we put out is going to be what we deem useful, because it's all stuff that we've learned that have helped us. So go ahead and like, share with your friends. Thanks so much for watching.